All right, let's dive into this. Be right back. That Black Mirror episode, I think we all know the one. It really gets under your skin, doesn't it?
It does.
This one where tech and grief, they collide.
Yeah.
And you just start to question everything.
Yeah.
So we're going to unpack this episode a bit. What are the themes? What's the impact been? And how does it, I don't know, foreshadow all these questions we're facing now
Yeah.
about AI, loss? What does it even mean to be human?
I think what gets me the most with Be Right Back is like it taps into this fear.
Oh, yeah.
We all have it. Losing someone you love.
Totally.
And wanting to hold on, even if it means like messing with the lines between what's real and what's not.
Yeah, it's like the episode is this, I don't know, this dark mirror, and it reflects our anxieties
Oh, totally.
about death and what we might do, how far we'd go because of grief.
Yeah.
And so we're thrown right into Martha's world.
Right.
She's dealing with the sudden death of Ash, her partner.
Yeah.
And on top of the pain of loss, there's this solution. Almost too good to be true, right?
Yeah.
This service that uses AI to make like digital versions of people who've died.
It's interesting because the episode uses Martha's, she's skeptical at first.
Right.
And that draws us in. She's wrestling with the whole idea, almost repulsed.
Uh-huh.
But then there's this pull
Yeah.
to hear Ash's voice again. Even if it's just an AI mimicking him, it's tempting.
So tempting. And I think that's what a lot of viewers, they connect with, who hasn't thought about having just one more conversation with someone they've lost.
Right.
But the episode takes us deeper than that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Makes us face the unsettling parts of this tech.
Exactly. It all starts with texts. Seems harmless.
Right. Like dipping your toe in.
Yeah, into this digital afterlife.
Yep.
But as Martha talks to the AI Ash, there are these, well, it's a mix.
Yeah.
Comfort and unease. Like, is this really Ash? Or just, some really good echo of him from online?
Right.
And is it helping her grieve? Or is it keeping her from moving on?
And if the lines weren't blurry enough with the chatbot, Martha takes things further. She orders a physical android of Ash.
Oh, wow.
Talk about escalation.
Yeah.
Suddenly, it's not just texts. It's a walking, talking, almost human version of her dead partner.
So then the episode really gets into these core questions: identity, authenticity.
Yeah.
If you can recreate someone's looks the way they talk, does that mean you've captured them?
Right.
And then what does it mean for us if our digital selves can just exist without us?
Yeah, it's asking, what happens to the soul, to consciousness? If tech can copy human life that well,
Yeah.
are we risking losing something essentially human if we get attached to these artificial beings?
It makes you think.
It really does.
It's that blurring the lines between tech and reality. That's what makes Be Right Back so, I don't know, unsettling. And I think that's why it hit people so hard. It came out when AI was just starting to become part of our lives. So this idea, bringing back loved ones digitally, didn't seem so crazy anymore.
It's like the episode, it tapped into something we were all starting to feel, right? This anxiety. Tech was changing so fast.
Yeah.
And Be Right Back made us think, what if it goes too far? What if we can't control it anymore?
Absolutely. And that's why there was so much debate. Some people, they saw the good side, the comfort. Imagine hearing your grandma's voice again, or talking to a friend who's gone.
Right.
For some people, that's worth the risk.
But then there's the flip side. The people who see harm in holding on to these digital ghosts.
Right.
Like, are we just avoiding the pain of grief, not really healing, just turning to tech for comfort?
It's a valid point. The episode shows how tech can be a crutch. You get stuck instead of facing the loss.
Yeah.
And then there's the ethics of it all. What happens to us, to our sense of self, if our digital copies can live on without us?
It's like digital immortality, but is it real?
Yeah.
And what about the people who died? Do they have a say in how their digital self is used? These are questions we're dealing with right now, and the tech is only getting better.
One thing that always gets me is how the episode shows the limits of our online selves. Remember what Ash says, every time I update my profile, it's like rewriting history.
Oh, yeah. It's such a small line, but it says so much.
Right. It's about how we craft these perfect versions of ourselves online.
Totally. We show the world what we want them to see.
Exactly. But is that curated identity what's driving these AI recreations? Are they accurate? Or just, echoes of a facade?
That's what sticks with you, isn't it? It makes you think about all the data we create. Emails, texts, social media. Does that really show who we are, or is it just a messed up reflection?
Right. And then who owns that data? Who gets to use it and what for? These questions go way beyond Be Right Back. It's stuff we're facing now. The lines between our physical and digital lives, they're blurring more and more.
Be right back is like a warning then, telling us to look at how we use tech, to really think about what our digital footprint means. Because in the end, it's not just about the tech itself, it's about what it means to be human in this digital world.
Exactly. The episode is entertaining and unsettling at the same time, and that's what makes it so good.
Yeah.
It's a perfect example of how sci-fi can hold a mirror up to us, make us question everything we think we know.
It really does. It's weird, but right, we talk about Be Right Back like it's this warning, this future thing, but so much of it is already happening. Like, are we really that far off from what we see in the episode?
Closer than you'd think. We may not have those androids yet, but the tech to, like, interact with digital versions of people who've died, it's getting there fast.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Companies are building these AI chatbots. They learn from someone's, their digital life, messages, posts, even writing style.
Wow.
And they make a digital avatar so you can still talk to them even after they're gone.
So it's not just sci-fi anymore. This is real. I gotta say, that's kind of creepy.
It is. And it brings up a whole bunch of ethical stuff, things we need to figure out as a society, like, should you need consent to make these avatars? Who gets to control them? How do we start people from using them for bad stuff?
It's like we're opening something we can't close. We need to be careful. What about the people who are grieving? Could talking to a digital version of someone, could it actually help them heal? Or would it make things worse?
Researchers are looking into that. There's no easy answer. Some think these avatars could bring closure, like a chance to say goodbye, or things they never got to say. But others worry it could stop people from moving on, like they get stuck, attached to a digital ghost.
So it's not simple. Depends on the person,
Yeah.
right? Their relationship, how they use the tech.
Exactly. And that's why we need to talk about it openly and honestly. We need rules for this tech, ethical guidelines, make sure it's used the right way, sensitive to, everything that comes with death and grief.
I think Be Right Back, it reminds us that tech can't replace everything, no matter how advanced it gets. Grief is messy, it's personal. And while tech might give us new ways to cope, we can't forget real human connection, support from real people. That can't be replaced.
You're right. And as we move into this digital world, the biggest thing Be Right Back teaches us, we need to think. Really think about what we're doing. What are the ethics of all this? Tech is powerful, but it's up to us to use it wisely and with compassion.
Well said. I think that wraps up our deep dive into Be Right Back. We've covered a lot. The themes, how it's impacted us, the questions it asks, about tech, about grief, about being human in this digital age. If you haven't seen it, I really recommend it. It's a story that sticks with you, makes you think. And for anyone out there dealing with loss, remember you're not alone. Talk to people, get support, and let yourself grieve in your own way.